This is the Apollo Air 2023 model. Now this is actually the third installment of the Air that started way back with the Air and Air Pro, continued throughout 2022, and now we have the 2023 version, and as you'd expect, it is clearly the best one yet. It's a purpose-built, ground-up commuter scooter that comes at a really affordable price, and it has a whole bunch of features that are definite improvements on previous models that make this a genuinely good electric scooter if you need a better way of getting around town. So let's talk a little bit more in detail about what you get on the new Air 2023. So let's start with the obvious. We now have included indicators on the end of each handlebar. And the real advantage is that these are self-cancelling. So if you forget to turn them off, they turn themselves off automatically. Now, I want to take a minute to just appreciate the dashboard on the Air 2023. It's a really clean, well-designed look. This hasn't been cobbled together from spare parts they found out the back of the warehouse. This looks like thought and effort has gone into making this just exactly what it needs to be. So you've got these redeveloped hand grips here. They're comfortable, they're soft and easy going on the hands. You've got your indicator buttons on the right and the left. And that's really good because on some scooters you see those buttons stacked on top of each other. It can be a little bit hard to use them, but no, Apollo have just gone for simplicity. Right means right, left means left. You've got bigger mode and power buttons, but on top of that, you've also got redeveloped throttles. So you've got a thumb throttle here, more reliable, more responsive than ever before. And you've also got improved regenerative braking throttle here. You just push that down and activate the motor's internal brakes. For those of you that have been following Apollo over the past few years, you'll know that they've been on an ongoing mission to totally eliminate stem wobble. And this folding mechanism promises exactly that. It's been totally redeveloped to be firmer, stronger, and easier to use. Now, when we're talking about the redeveloped folding mechanism, the actual clamp on the front of the scooter isn't the only thing here that matters, because this has also been improved as well. Now, this might not seem like a big change, but this spring-loaded hook here actually clips in and holds that in place. So it's much easier to lift this, carry it, and move it around. And that was missing on the previous version. And one of the things that we didn't love about the previous one, it's good to see that Apollo have addressed it. One of the really important differences on the new Apollo Air is the inclusion of self-healing tires on both the front and the back. Previous versions didn't actually have these, and we're really happy to see them. Any punctures or anything that goes through the tire, there's a gel inside the tire that will expand and seal any holes. All you need to do is pump them back up and you're good to go. So now let's talk about brakes. On the Apollo Air, you get two brakes just like the predecessors. You've got a front drum here, and in the rear you've got regenerative braking. Now, two brakes might not seem like an awful lot, but for a scooter of this power, two brakes is ample. Now, what makes this even more special is that the regenerative brake is actually from Apollo. You've got to remember that means it's one of the best regenerative brakes on the market. And you'll probably find that when you're using it, you don't need the front brake at all, because the regenerative braking is more than powerful enough to bring the unit to a stop in complete control without the use of any other brakes. In terms of power and performance, the Air 2023 is powered by a rear 500 watt motor that has a peak output of 900 watts. Now, the peak output is comparable to Segway's G2 as well. And that makes sense because the Air and the G2 are in the exact same e-scooter category. Although personally, this is a little bit cheaper, and I think for that, you're getting a much nicer design. But that 500 watt motor on the Apollo Air can actually propel us up to 35 kilometers an hour. And if that's too fast for you, or if you want to bring it down to observe speed limits, you can just cycle through the different speed modes on the handlebar, or when you're ready to put the proverbial foot down, just put it back up to unlock the scooter's 34 kilometer an hour top speed. The new Apollo Air is powered by a 36 volt, 15 amp hour battery. And that gives you up to 55 kilometers of range, or giving this the ability and the torque to handle 100 kilos of rider weight. That's a little bit more than both the 2022 and the original versions. And you've got to remember that the whole scooter itself only weighs 17.5 kilos, which actually makes it one of the most powerful lightweight scooters we have in stock. Now, the handlebar indicators aren't the only change to the overall lighting setup of the Apollo Air, as this front headlight has been redeveloped to be both brighter and adjustable you can just move it up and down using this catch here. Very convenient. So like the rest of the Apollo lineup of this year, the Apollo Air 2023 has a really high water resistance rating with IP66. That means it's totally protected from ingress dust, sand, but it also gives it a high resistance to jets of high pressure water. Now that's not water blasters such as you find at car wash, but what that does mean is that this is safe to ride throughout the rain. Just make sure you give it a wipe down afterwards. And that has the added benefit of meaning that you can use the Apollo Air 2023 year round, hot, cold, rain or shine. And for under $1,500, that's not all you're getting with the Apollo Air 2023. You're also getting a free phone holder that clamps onto the handlebars, plus a free maintenance toolkit that has all the tools, plus some spare screws and bolts that you'll need to make sure that your air keeps running smoothly. So realistically, you're getting a really significant package with the Apollo Air. It's powerful, it looks great, it's got great water resistance rating, it's practical, it has good lighting and indicators, and it's safe. Plus you're getting free stuff with it as well. And if that's not enough to know whether you should buy one or not, always just remember this thing weighs 17.5 kilos. At that weight, there is nothing else like this. So if you're looking for one of the best electric commuter scooters available in Australia right now, stop the search. It's the Apollo Air 2023. Jump online and order yours from Electric Kicks today.